Thank you. We'll begin with questions. Let me just talk about Chicago because so many of the problems seem to be playing out throughout the whole country, the same issues. Let me ask you point blank. Uh, the fact that we have mail service problems, people not getting mail for long periods of time are insufficient, and all the other complaints you got. Can you be as specific as possible? Is this a workforce shortage? Is this to a large extent being backed up because the service couldn't handle the dramatic increase in package delivery? Is this because of air service issues? Uh, is it because of anything else mechanical, distribution centers, uh, processing equipment of any sort? So, to the extent you can be as specific as possible in Chicago and as it plays out the same way through the rest of the country, why do we have these severe problems near the holiday and why are they still playing out?
hmm Thank you, and that's a fair question. And if given the time, I can address it in a robust manner. Number one, our network and financial condition and service have been eroding for years. We have been in a bad business model that has been allowed to exist both by the Congress and by our regulators and by efforts by previous management teams, for the most part, have been stymied. And in some cases, their own reluctance to take on the challenges that needed to be taken on to address the change. Our performance during this peak period is a result of extreme change in the dynamics of our market, meaning packages, significant increase in package volume, which from a cubic movement standpoint, which is how we go about delivering our service. A tractor trailer of mail would hold 500,000 pieces. A tractor trailer of packages would hold 5,000 pieces. We do not have the ground transport, or physical distribution capabilities, both from a space standpoint or equipment standpoint, to handle this. And there have been extreme delays throughout the whole system, starting from the peak period. Now, also, we have had historically, have had significant turnover in the pre-career aspects of our workforce. This year, we hired 200,000 people and didn't move the top line number of 650,000 employees an inch. Right, many of the career employees who have leave and were in fact had to deal with the growing reach of the pandemic as we moved from last from March of last year into the end of this year. It spread more around the country, and we had tremendous more employee availability problems and absenteeism, which was filled by temporary hires. These were almost got to a point where there were day workers asked to operate our machinery in our plants, and they walk in our plants and they see the type of environment that they need to work in, and many just turned around and went home. We had pockets like in Chicago, Detroit, Philadelphia. We have 750 routes. We only had 400 carriers to go out on a day. The pandemic, the Postal Service experienced the pandemic like everyone else. And the final thing is, if we got mail and packages for the most part throughout the nation to our delivery units, we delivered over 98% of the time, over 97% of the time, and that's the strength of the organization, and that's part of why I'm optimistic about how we go about fixing it. But we had days where I delivered 40 million packages in one day, and the next day could only do 30, yet we had 150 million packages in the system because we could not get it to the delivery units. They were caught up in plants, they were caught up in trucks, they were caught up on terminal handling processes with airports. and so forth. And with those packages goes mail. And we threw everything we had at it, and it just wasn't enough. The
Well,
system was.
no, and I appreciate that. I'm gonna abide by my own rules and move on. And next questions will be by the ranking member, Mr. Womack.